Okay, Zoom actually works now. So, all right. So imagine you're a pen tester. You're looking at some web application like this one, and you want to analyze the app, try to crawl it, try to find some vulnerabilities in it. But you're really lazy and you want to get paid for doing the least amount of work possible. So you fire up your browser, and it's an agentic browser, so it can maybe crawl for you. So right now, this command basically fires off a headless browser using Playwright, and it goes through a graph that we wrote with a LangGraph, and it analyzes the web application and tries to log in and then crawl it. So in this case, we're giving it a username of Gopher, password of ASDF. And then after it tries to log in, it'll kind of crawl around and hopefully stop itself without looping 20,000 times. So we'll fire this off. And you can see we're taking a screenshot of the page. We're classifying the screenshot based on what kind of page it is. And the text is kind of scrolling a little fast here for my one-handed computer use. But it basically will analyze the page and kind of continue on. Give me one sec to actually scroll this page.
I notice here that it seems like you've sort of got a consortium of experts trying to sort of debate with each other on what the right next move is, and if they all agree, you take the action. Can you give me some insight into that?
Yeah, so we thought that the best way to have the model determine if it can log in or not is to actually check itself. So we have a basically like a panel of experts that are determining if the action that it should take is viable. So like basically it's like, hey, based off of what I see, should I do this? And like, does that go with the original question of logging in? And so they confer and it says, hey, 2 out of 3 agree. So the action should be to log in and continue on. And then it determines if it's accurate or not.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, it takes a screenshot. It doesn't parse the DOM at all, though. It actually clicks XY coordinates, which makes it a little bit more reliable. Before the hackathon, we were trying to get this to work, and we were trying to like parse the DOM initially, but that just is very hard, and it makes the context window pretty big. Or I'm sorry, it just adds a lot to the context. It makes it more expensive. And some web pages have like crazy DOMs. So we found that like taking the screenshots, clicking the XY coordinates would be a little bit better. And we were hoping to actually like this log snare application is a purposely vulnerable app that has like IDORs in it and stuff. So our idea was to actually, crawl the app a bit more and find a vulnerability, but we just kind of ran out of time. So that's kind of the end goal. But this could still be useful for like testing default credentials against login pages that you haven't seen before, right? Like we're all pretty familiar with like, the Tomcat Manager or some of those other default web apps. But what if it's a custom web app and you just want to try like admin password across, everything, right? So yeah, that's kind of where we got to today.
Were you able to test this on an unknown web app login and see if it was successful?
Not yet, but nothing about log snare is hard coded into this. It's just generic. We just say log in with this username and password, and it was able to do that. So yeah, yeah. What Wes was like, oh, just create a
Wait, do
GitHub account
websites
really
consent? Is that a thing?
Can websites consent? Yeah.
So did you find, just one question? You mentioned, of course, that you're not doing that using the DOM, you're using XY coordinates, and you found that to be far more reliable.
Yeah, basically, yeah. There's just a lot going on in a
Oh, it's
lot of the
time. Okay.
DOMs. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you.